Writing in 3 Minutes, and this is the first of 2 short podcasts about exams and exam revision, okay? Because I know obviously it's exam time, or maybe it's not for some of you, but exams, they come very quickly, so be careful and watch out for them, okay? So with exams, obviously there are lots of different exam types, especially these days with the proliferation of online exams and that kind of thing, which some of you will, I'm sure, will experience or maybe have experienced, which can be very different as well. Now, but when it comes to revision, there's a number of certain things that we can put in place and be aware of to make our revision more effective, okay? So let's go through some of them. Now, past papers are obviously very useful. If you have access to past papers, take every opportunity you have to make the most of them and use them, because obviously they're great because you can plan your answers, you can time yourselves, you can then reflect on the difficulties that you've had once the time is up. So they give you a real as you can get, experience of doing an exam. There's also a technique called overlearning. Now, overlearning is to do with exam anxiety. And the idea is that you revise something so much that you kind of overlearn it. So you revise and revise and revise. So on the day of the exam, if you are getting nervous or anxious, hopefully it will be so ingrained in your heads that you don't forget it, or at least you can retrieve it. Now, when it comes to revising things like quotes or equations or stats or theories or formulas, there's a technique called look, cover, write, check. Look, cover, write, check, and it is what it is. Basically, so find something that's quite short, and so nothing too long, and you look at it, you cover it or put it to one side, and then you write it out from your memory, and then you check against it, okay? And you repeat this with a range of these different, say, short revision areas, so like theories or formulas or stats or quotes. And also look for write check can be good to break up long periods of revision, because if you're doing past papers or any other form of revision, doing look for write check can be useful because it just breaks things up and gives your brain a bit of rest. Another good technique is to use post-it notes or revision cards, place them around wherever you live, put them on the toilet door, put them on the fridge, front door, bedroom door, places where you're going to look at it and you can't really avoid them. And the idea is you'll see them, and hopefully even if you're not consciously revising them, then you'll be taking them in subconsciously. Notes from notes, which is getting your notes and then condensing them more and more each time. Now, it's not just simply being passive and copying. You're doing something with the notes. So you're changing the ideas, you're paraphrasing the ideas, you may be combining the notes from other notes that you've got in your head or you've actually been looking at previously. So you're doing something with the actual notes. Another good thing you can do to revise is to revise with a friend. And when I say a friend, I mean a friend who's not going to distract you. You know that as well as I do, yeah? And the idea here is that you can teach each other. You know, you can practice. You can say, okay, tell me about this formula, or I'm going to talk about this today or with you for the next hour. And then your friend asks you questions and find things that you might be missing. And it's a great, friendly, non-serious way just to kind of, see what you can recall in that type of space. And also one final thing is if you are having, difficulty revising for a particular part of an exam or a particular exam module, then don't ignore it. Keep returning to difficult areas. It's human nature to maybe ignore things like this, and hopefully it won't come up in the exam, but as well as I do, there's a fair chance that it might. So these are just some revision techniques which hopefully you can use to improve your revision. And so look out for the second podcast where I continue some of these different areas. Thanks for listening.